Welcome to Part 5. If you are still here, it means something in the previous parts touched something real in you. Good, because what I am about to share requires a man who is ready to hear it. A performer walks into a room thinking about his own output, his own impression, his own reputation. A performer measures success by how he felt. An anatomist walks into the same room thinking about something entirely different. He is thinking about her nervous system, her history, her specific anatomy, her experience of this specific moment. Those are not the same men, and they do not produce the same marriage. Before you are anything else in that private space, you are a healer. Your first job is not pleasure. Your first job is safety. A woman's body does not open to excitement. It opens to safety. When her nervous system registers that she is completely safe with you, that you are not rushing, not performing, not focused on your own arrival, something changes in her, physiologically. The body that was closed begins to open, not because you demanded it, because you earned it. This is especially true if she is a first-timer, if she has had a painful experience before, if she carries any anxiety into that space. Your patience in those first moments is not weakness, it is the most powerful thing you can bring. Because a woman who has been rushed will close. A woman who has been given time will bloom. And the difference between those two outcomes is entirely in your hands. I'm going to say something that will make some of you uncomfortable. Read, study, learn how a woman's body actually works, not from a screen, from legitimate sources. Understand lubrication and what it means, and what its absence means. Understand foreplay not as a prologue you rush through to get to the main event, but as the main event itself for most women. Understand that for a woman, pain is not a rite of passage. Pain is a stop sign. And a man who ignores a stop sign is not a lover. He is a hazard. Vaginismus, the condition Alexandra developed, does not appear from nowhere. It develops in response to experiences where the body learned that intimacy equals pain, and it can be treated. With the right medical support, the right therapeutic approach, and, crucially, the right partner. A partner who is patient enough to be part of the solution rather than the continuation of the problem. Stop measuring your success by your own experience. Start measuring it by hers. Did she feel safe? Did she feel seen? Did she feel like her body was respected rather than used? Those are the questions that separate a man who builds intimacy from a man who extracts it. And a woman who consistently feels safe, seen, and respected in that space with you will bring everything she has to that space, willingly, enthusiastically, without reservation. But a woman who consistently feels rushed, ignored, or treated as a means to someone else's end will begin to disappear inside that marriage. Not all at once, gradually, the way warmth leaves a room when the door is left open in winter, slowly enough that you might not notice until the cold is already everywhere. Here is the uncomfortable truth I promised you. Some of you already know you are hurting her, not because you are cruel, but because some part of you enjoys the feeling of being too much to handle. Your ego has attached itself to a narrative about your size, or your experience, or your reputation, and that narrative is more important to you in certain moments than her actual experience. I want you to hear this clearly. That ego is not masculinity. That ego is immaturity, wearing masculinity's clothes. A truly masculine man does not need his partner's pain to confirm his power. His power is confirmed by her safety, by her trust, by the fact that she chooses him again and again, not because she has no choice, but because he has made himself the safest, most knowledgeable, most patient presence in her intimate life. Alexander had the sledgehammer. He lost Alexandra. Not because he was too big, because he was too certain and too impatient and too uneducated about the specific human being he had married. He had hardware with no software, size with no skill, confidence with no competence. The man who combines these three things does not just avoid the mistakes Alexander made, he builds something rare. A marriage where intimacy deepens over time rather than deteriorating. A partner who feels genuinely chosen rather than simply occupied. A private life that neither of you wants to escape from. Alexander and Alexandra was supposed to be a love story. It became a lesson. The question now is simple. Whose story will yours be? If this series opens something in you, share it with someone who needs it. Not to embarrass them, because you care about them, because you care about the Alexandra in their life, because the conversation we just had is the conversation that should have happened long before any wedding night. Subscribe to Modupe Steeze for more. Like, share, save this video. Someone needs to see this today.